This popular supplement brand is in some major trouble. Ghost Lifestyle received letters from Truth in Advertising regarding deceptive and unfair marketing of their products to minors. The letter discussed unsubstantiated claims of reduced anxiety, hormonal balance, and epic focus. But it's not uncommon for these brands to make the consumer aware of what the product might offer, emphasis on the might. These claims in combination with brand name collabs like Sour Patch Kids, Bubblicious, and Warheads could definitely make these products more appealing to minors. Although these supplements aren't intended for minors, many teenagers begin taking things like protein, creatine, and pre-workout. And because influencer-driven marketing is more popular than ever, these products have outgrown the gym crowd, while the gaming community seems to be the newest fascination for these supplement brands, like Ghost partnering with FaZe Clan. I definitely have some mixed opinions on this, but what do you guys think? So let's talk about this. Ghost Lifestyle and several other brands were sent warnings by Tina or Truth in Advertising regarding their marketing. I also already saw the CEO of Ryse, Nick, say that they were going to change their labeling in response to these warnings. So Ghost isn't the only one that needs to take action here. And to my knowledge, Truth in Advertising is a non-profit organization with their primary goal to fight against deceptive marketing. And when I heard about this whole Ghost situation, I was very interested because Ghost is very popular and I also like their products, so I wanted to make sure I did my research before making a video on it, so that's what I did. I read the article, and most of it's pretty weak, to be honest. They also had another article on energy drinks in general, like Ryse, C4, gfuel, a couple other things, and I read that too. But the main point of emphasis for both of these articles were that these products are dangerous for children. I'm 25 now, but I used to be a teenager taking these supplements, and the only difference was that they didn't have fancy labels or brand name collabs, or at the very least, it wasn't as common. And honestly, when I first heard about this, I thought it was pretty ridiculous because the majority of the things that kids consume on a regular basis are just as bad or just as harmful as these products. A kid will wake up, eat a bowl of cereal with some juice or some Starbucks and call it breakfast. Fast food is more prevalent than ever, and kids eat tons and tons of empty calories that aren't ideal for a growing teenager. But I guess that would make this somewhat valid because even though they do other bad things doesn't mean they should be doing this one. I also thought it was funny in their article they went as far to say that these supplement brands are just as bad as e-cig brands and they take pages out of each other's book. Anyways, one of their main arguments had to do with caffeine intake. They had an issue with a can of Ghost Energy containing 200 milligrams caffeine, stating that that's more than double the RDA for a minor. Also, I found a cat. Hey. But guess what? If that same kid were to drink 2 to 3 cans of Coke in a day, that's about the same amount of caffeine. Don't get me wrong, I don't think advertising supplements to kids is very ethical, but are they really targeting kids though? And going back to the collab situation, I've done many reviews on energy drinks, pre-workouts, proteins that were licensed collaborations with these brands like Sour Patch Kids, Oreo, Jet Puffed, Moon Pie, Ring Pop, etc. Maybe I'm just thinking about me here, but I get really excited for those collabs. I was a kid once, and these brands were part of my childhood. And I would guess that the owners of these supplement brands are on the same page. These brands have been around forever. It doesn't matter if you're a minor or an adult who hasn't tried a Sour Patch Kid or Bubblicious or whatever. I don't think Ghost is targeting kids because the prevalence of supplements in minors is nothing new. I was 16 years old chugging mass gainer, creatine, BCAAs, you name it. The only difference is flashy labeling and collabs. This takes me to Truth in Advertising's next problem. They had an issue with the sizing of their warning labels. It would be one thing if they didn't have the warning on there altogether, but we're talking about the size here. They include a warning label on these products mentioning that they're intended for healthy adults. They were saying that the warning is illegible, but I've had many cans of Ghost Energy, and I haven't had a problem reading that label once. I also have a tub of Ghost Protein in the cabinet, and I went to go check that. Clear as day, warning label in a big enough font. The reality is that kids are going to buy whatever they want. And in regards to their unsubstantiated claims, as they put it, I'm going to make it very simple. Supplements are either meant to fill a deficiency or help improve your performance in some way, whether that's weightlifting, endurance, sport-specific, health, stress, whatever. If you researched your supplements, which is something that I recommend everyone does, you would know what's in these products so you know what you're paying for. Truth in Advertising has their pennies in a bunch talking about empty claims, but Ghost isn't dumb. They tweak their formulas all the time based on research that's done on these ingredients. A smart brand would acknowledge that the consumer has access to all this info, so if they put out a subpar product, we're going to know that it's butt cheeks and we're not going to buy it. But that only happens if you do your research. For example, you want something that's going to help reduce stress and anxiety, put ashwagandha in it, and you're basically correct because ashwagandha has been known to reduce cortisol, boost testosterone, reduce stress and anxiety, blah blah blah. So is this deceptive marketing, or is it factual and it's up to us to decide on whether or not we should buy it or not? Marketing is how you make money, and guess what? More people would rather buy a product that says stress relief on it than a generic version of ashwagandha just because they need to know what it does for you. That's just how it is. The only valid argument, in my opinion, has to do with influencers affecting minors, more specifically in the gaming community. Anyone with a Wi-Fi connection can pull up a stream or access anything they want on the internet. Is it wise to sponsor people with a primary audience of kids? Probably not, but this is the first legitimate argument that you have against Ghost. So maybe just be more selective with who you sponsor? And even then, Ghost isn't the first or only supplement brand that markets towards gamers. Gfuel's been around for over a decade marketing supplements to gamers. At the end of the day, I think Ghost is going to be okay. They just have to adjust their labeling and be more cautious with who they sponsor. And really what it comes down to is the responsibility of the consumer, or in this case, the parent or guardian of the consumer. They should be paying more attention about what their kids are putting in their body. Because otherwise it doesn't really seem like that big of a deal, right? I also want to add that it doesn't take long to do research on a product like this. I've been doing it since high school. You don't necessarily have to walk into a GNC or a vitamin shop and take their word for word of God. It takes 5 to 10 minutes to research the ingredients on some of these products. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments.